that on the towpath. Some people rode them, other people walked with them, okay? And people think that's a real good idea until you do the math that there were 550 boats times 4 mules, by my calculation, is 2,200 mules, okay? That park rangers did not go out and clean up after every day. So this towpath was just solid mule waste, if you will, and Mom and Dad didn't want you wasting your good Sunday shoes wearing them out on the towpath, so you were probably out there barefooted. Yeah, there you go. Now let me direct your attention. Now, we had to dig this canal. Look at this stone outcropping over here, this natural outcropping of stone. In the upper right-hand corner there, you can see a couple of like man-made slashes down through the stone. This was the type of geological obstruction the Irish, mainly Irish immigrant laborers that came upon were forced to have to hack through to dig this canal. You have to remember, back in the 1820s and 1830s, there were no backhoes, there were plenty of backs, and there were hoes, there were pickaxes, there were sledgehammers, there were wheelbarrow, oxen, horse, mules, but there were no jackhammers, no steam shovels, no dynamite. The only thing they had for blasting purposes was black powder. Okay? Now, when they came across an obstruction like that, what they would use was a rather simple tool similar to this called a star bit. Okay? This one, these tools I actually dug out of my grandfather's toolbox. He was a stonemason and cement worker on the Lincoln Memorial and some other places here in the district. But anyhow, I dug this up because it had a connection for me with the laborers who were building the canal. Now, they didn't use a little 3-pound mallet like this. They used big 20-pound sledgehammers, you know, the ones with the long handle, okay, and working teams of 3. But the objective being that one person, usually the person who drew the short straw, okay, got to hold the star bit against the stone, okay? With the idea being that with each couple of bangs of the sledgehammer on this nickel-sized target, and believe me, if you've ever tried to start a nail in a board and missed and hit your finger, multiply that by about 1,000,000, okay? As these guys were swinging these sledgehammers, trying to hit this, the job of Mr. Turner would be to turn this star bit to get a bite in the stone, drilling a hole down so that it could be filled with black powder and a fuse and wadding, light it, and the resulting explosion would fracture a piece of the rock off so that it was either more manageable and could be broken up by more sledgehammers, or having to go through the whole process again. So here these guys are, okay, now, these were, you know, young and old alike, Irish immigrant workers, sometimes sick with cholera, certainly fatigued. This is a hot, nasty area to work in. Perhaps hung over from their ration of whiskey the night before, but they were going to work as a team, okay? But these guys were wielding these big sledgehammers over their heads, okay, trying to hit this, I can't even do it, trying to hit this very small target while the guy turned it to take a bite into that rock. So all up and down the canal, you could hear the chorus of these sledgehammers against these bits, okay? So bit by bit by bit, working as teams, okay, teams of 3s, these guys put their trust in these real simple tools in each other to reduce stone outcroppings like you saw there to rubble, manageable piles of rubble, so that they could clear it and create this 185-mile-long water right-of-way, which brought commerce and prosperity to the merchants and all here of Georgetown, provided a way of life for these families that operated the boats, and while it wasn't a big money maker, okay, brought some sense of business and all to the owners and the investors of the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal Company. So just think about that, you know, all that work to dig out this canal.
Okay.